I just want to rehash the importance of this one thing. You have to take, when you're healing and you're doing this work and you're trying to unfucking tangle these webs and deceits and manipulations and shit, if you have narcissists involved in your life, you have to take it all the way back to birth and understand the programming that we're put on. It all comes back to programming. If you can understand the fact that you are programmed, that you are running on a program that was instilled in you as a child, again, between the ages of birth and 7 years old is when your main programming for life is set. Okay? After 7 years old, you can do the exact same type of programming through trauma. This is all just how the brain works. MK Ultra, the CIA, all these mind control programs, they all work off the same thing. Dissociative identity disorder, DID, all these types, the splits, all this shit. So they know, your government knows, like they use it as an operative. They use it every day. And their propaganda and the way they steer the country, and they steer shit every day. And the whole system is set on abuse. And that's what I'm trying to say, is it's known. These people know it. And that's why people like my wife, people like my mom, these people are rewarded in this life. People like my sister, these people are rewarded, okay? They're rewarded. And what do I mean by rewarded, okay? What do I mean by rewarded? Well, they have their houses with all their little trinkets, and they have their slaves that created things for them, take care of things for them that they abuse anytime they're uncomfortable. They have their whole little narrative and life story set, and they have everything set, and they have an army full of soldiers that don't even know they're soldiers that will fight to the death for them if anybody says anything bad about them or goes against them. And why? Because they've built their narratives, their sub-narratives off those narratives. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, guys, none of this. You are never going to get healing. You are never going to get any kind of true healing until you take this shit all the way the fuck back. You have to understand the programming. Because if you think you're just going to take it back to this certain point in time and be like, oh, okay, I fixed that. That was a big issue for me. I'm better now. And I'm going to go out in life and I'm just going to be... No, because you're going out in life, you're going back to an abusive system that you're still suffering. What I'm trying to say is yes, you might have cleared up some of the cognitive dissonance that you were having. You might have gotten rid of some of the splits. You might have gotten rid of some of the alters. You might have, categorized down to a fewer splits, but you haven't taken care of the main issue. You're still walking around in somebody else's narrative, somebody else's story. You're still building upon. That's why you have all this confusion. That's why things don't make sense. That's why you're working so hard. That's why it's just a circle, And the thing is that you have to recognize it. You have to fucking recognize it for what it is. Otherwise, you're just going around in circles. It's called insanity, just doing the same thing over and over. You get sanity is when you clean it out. You get rid of that old idea, that old thought, that old programming, and you get sane again. You get sanity, sanitized, and you start thinking properly. You guys cannot do this healing off of these old programs. It's not going to happen. It's impossible. Because what's going to happen is you're going to create even more cognitive dissonance, because what this healing is doing is making you come to terms with and realize and vocalize and make it what you're doing is you're changing your reality because you're bringing out the reality in you that nobody else, that everybody's been squashing. So what you have to do is accept that your reality is real. No more playing games, no more playing anybody else's reality, no more playing anybody else's truth. You know, all that shit that's happening in your life that everybody told you didn't happen. It's time to fucking say, okay, hold on, cocksuckers. Hold on a fucking minute. And you have to face this shit by yourself. You have to face it by yourself. Because if you aren't willing to face it, you can't expect anybody else to face it. Why is anybody else going to do something uncomfortable that they haven't even done? Why would they do it for somebody else? Especially if it means opening up their own shit. Which it is, because we're all tied in as souls. If we're family and friends, all these people, acquaintances, we're all tied in. So our healing is tied to everything. It's a big tangled web. That's what I'm trying to say. And like, man, you pick at one part and it fucking resonates everywhere. It's hitting everywhere right now. I know it is. I know my healing is hitting everywhere. I know it is. And because there's other people doing what I'm doing all over the place right now. And I know there is because all I got to go off is my intuition, right? I know there is. I subscribed recently, just in the past week, to several people who are telling their stories like me, their own stories in their own way, but they're finally speaking. And they're just human. That's all they are. They're not black, white, short, tall, fat, skinny. They're not any kind of race. They're just human. Like me. And my kids. We're just human. And you guys don't, we're not making bullet points for you idiots. Our life is not a fucking chart for you to fucking check the pluses and minuses on. More than likely, our lives have been a life of abuse and trauma and just lies and horseshit and just constant passive aggressiveness and all nasty shit, dude. And y'all just blow us off. And if you're someone who's had trauma in your life and you're not healing and you aren't going all the way back and you're refusing to do the work, you're just as bad. You're not healing. You're perpetuating this shit. And that's what I'm saying. Once you get on this, you better treat it like a slip and slide and just go with it. Because now's the time to just let go of all of this. What are you guys holding on to? You can die at any moment. You can't take any of this with you, but you guys are clutching on to your stories and your lies and your pain and your all of it. Stop holding on to this shit. Because and the reason it affects me, it affects other abuse victims, because by you guys holding on to this shit, it means because the way the system is set up, it is set up as an abusive system, whether it's the family dynamic, whether it's the government, whether it's the education, no matter what it is, the religious, it's all set up as an abusive system, top down, right? So by you guys clinging so tightly, that's the thing. That's how they get you. They get you by attracting you with all the wonders of this world. That's how my mom sold her soul. That's how my sister's selling her soul. That's how my ex-wife's selling their soul. They have literally, like my son and me are still, like, we know this shit and we're still just sitting there going, no, this can't be this bad. And we're in it. I'm preaching to you guys, but I'm preaching to myself. Like, I'm getting this out. Like, this is the way, like, I feel this all this time inside me. But this is how I'm doing my healing, is I'm fucking getting it out, because this is how I'm talking to myself. You know? It's time. It's time to fucking heal. And I don't want people worshiping me. I don't want people going, oh, he's been through so much. Oh, look what he's going through. I don't want that. I want you guys to look at this and go, what the fuck? And then I want it to open your fucking eyes. And I want you to look around and go, holy fuck. And I want everybody to just stop. When you realize it's all abuse, stop. Stop perpetuating it. Because by going along to get along, you're perpetuating it. And you don't understand that the fucking thing is set up until you get to a point like me, where you run until you can't run anymore. And then on your way down, you're like, help. And everybody's like, see you later. And that's just how it goes. And it's just so... And what are we doing? That's mindless. That's not human. This is my whole point with this, guys. My point with this is that is not human. The programming they put you on has been taking your humanity from you since day one. It has been to desensitize you to your soul. It has been to mindlessly keep you occupied with every piece of useless information. They put you in compulsory schooling for 12 fucking years and teach you the most useless nonsense with social cliques and bullying beyond imagination. They send our young men and women off to wars. We educate these young men and women and then make them feel so good and then put them in a shelter underground in a secure area with the most advanced military in the world. And they fly drones halfway across the world with armaments on them, and they just blow up poor people. God, when are you guys gonna understand? This isn't a joke. People are dying and suffering if you're not suffering and you're listening to people who suffer and you're just going, well, I gotta go. I gotta go get my lollipop, whatever, your next distraction, oh God, you are a useless fucking idiot. If you are taking part of the joys that this system has to offer, while your family and friends, there's people around you who have been abused, who are in abusive situations, who are struggling, who have issues, who have problems, but you got to watch Game of Thrones every night. You got to play your video game every night because you deserve it. Right? You deserve it. I mean, this is a hard life. This is a crazy hard life. You don't have time. You don't have time to hear this shit. People being abused. People whining about their abuse. You don't have time for that shit. It's uncomfortable. I mean, look at you. You don't whine on your own YouTube page when you run out of fucking cream-filled donuts, You just go and bitch to your husband and he has to run out and make you convenient again, right? It's as easy as that. Simple as that. In your life, isn't it? Isn't it? I know a lot of you women who are out there right now. So convenient. Just a little uncomfortable here and there, but so convenient. Just manipulating your world around you. Using people. Disgusting. Man. When I really in my head get like really just down honest with how abusive everybody is towards each other and how it just propagates itself and so accepted. I mean, it makes me so, it turns my whole stomach. My stomach just completely turns. And it's so prevalent. In America. Speaking for America. And what it seems to come down to, like I said, if you go back, like, why do we even have governments? Like, if you go to these smaller places, you know, like these smaller countries, they got their problems. They're corrupt too. They're, you know, it's everybody trying to, the government's trying to, you know, because government, the little word, the meaning of the word government is mind control. That's what I'm saying. You guys got to take this religious bullshit. Are you fucking kidding me? How would you know you needed Jesus unless somebody told you? Unless you read it in a fucking book. Nobody in their fucking life has ever just woke up and go, I need Jesus. Without some kind of outside influence. This shit's all made up. It's all to get you to go outside yourself. You are so powerful. We are so powerful. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable how powerful we are. They have tried crushing your soul since the day you were born. Everybody has told you you were wrong. Everybody, you have been abused. When you get down to it and you're honest about it and you really think about it and you think to yourself, now, if you're an adult, if you're a healthy adult or even an unhealthy adult, but who is honest with himself or herself, and you sit there and you go, now that I know what it is like, how wretched and nasty the shit it can be, if I were to be the one to create a perfect life, how would that be? And I go back and I'm like, oh my God, I would be held. I would not be yanked out. I would not have strangers around me. I would not be in a foreign environment. I would not have bright lights. I would not be getting injected with toxins. I would not be, oh my God, and on and on and on and on. And that's just day one. Day one. And that's why you guys have to take this all the way back. Because if you think that your healing's going to start in middle school, when all of a sudden your bullying started in middle school, at 12 years old, 10 years old, after 10 years, I've already told you, your programming, your main master programming is set between the ages of 0 and 7. The rest of the programming you get afterward is from trauma-based. There's different kinds of ways to program, and trauma is a very easy, quick way to do things. That's how our government uses it to control people through propaganda. That's how the CIA has used it through their MK Ultra. That's how they use it. That's how these fucking. That's how advertising. All this shit works. It creates cognitive dissonance, and it gets you to have a war inside yourself, and then end up having to, because it's just the way it is now, go along to get along and agree with your abuser. And in so doing, that means agreeing to your abuse, which we've shown they put that in your entertainment. They put it everywhere for you, so that way you laugh at it and agree to it. It's all tied in, is what I'm saying. And you guys are refusing to go back and heal because you don't want to give up on the little fucking joys of this fucked up world. You're so far into Luciferianism and materialism and purporting yourself as a Christian because you're scared to death you're going to hell. And it's all something somebody made up and shoved down your fucking face when you were born. Along with having to have a fucking government. And you idiots. You can't even get mad when you think about it. Like, they've got you guys so bamboozled. People are actually thinking and voting for one man to rule them all. A president over 350 million people that's gonna fix everything. Oh, God damn it. People are so fucking stupid. Do you know how fucking stupid? If you guys have never seen the movie Idiocracy, that is exactly what you are. If you are still thinking you need a president, if you are still thinking you need somebody to rule over you, if you are still enjoying the fucking joys of this world, and that is what keeps you from doing your healing or recognizing abuse around you and calling things for what it is and helping to heal this shit instead of perpetuating the abuse and being a accomplice of the abuse, because you're just as bad as the abuser. If you're sitting here understanding, look, if you're understanding this shit and you're just going, oh man, I wish he would really shut the fuck up. Fuck you. Oh, God damn. You cock-sucking, lazy, fucking, nutless bags of shit. Quit taking up oxygen. Quit taking up my oxygen. All I got left is oxygen and fucking common sense. You guys are so out there. I don't even want to know how many of you are sitting there talking about a balloon right now. I don't even want to know. Voting for fucking president. What the fuck is wrong with you people? You guys are so fucking downloaded on the program and disconnected. You guys think you're just gonna work. They keep on taking. Man. They print this money, guys. Our government is like so many tens of trillions of dollars in debt, like it's not even real. It's all just zeros and ones on a fucking keyboard in a computer program. They just, when they need money, they just beep. But they're killing you if you forget to pay a parking ticket. And you guys just defend, you guys keep voting for this shit. You guys keep watching this programming and laughing at the abuse that you benefit from, but people that you know are in your family or friend or acquaintance group are being abused in order for you to get your entertainment. It's sad, man. And nobody wants to recognize it. People want to just halfway heal, just get healed enough to jump back in and go get their fucking glories, their vanities again. Go get their idols. Man. Damn. You guys and your possessions, man. Don't you understand? When you possess something, it possesses you as well. You attach. You take part of your soul and attach part of yourself to it. That's what happens when you own something. When you mindlessly own all these things, that's why you guys can sit there and listen to your family talk about abuse and not give a fuck and have to go play your video games because it's video game time. You guys have to, oh, no, sorry. Hey, can we finish this conversation? You made some good points, but can we finish this conversation later? I got Game of Thrones coming on, and I got to see what's happening with Lucius and his fucking shit. I mean, it's amazing. You guys are heartless. You have no humanity. There's no humanity. You guys are not human. What you guys are, you downloaded on a system. You're downloaded on a program, and you're moving on the hamster wheel, and the hamster wheel requires you to be mindlessly going on it in order to keep generating it. And you don't think your participation is that big a deal, but that's what it's all about, is your participation. Because it's about your soul. It's about your energy. It's about you taking a conscious decision to disregard abuse and things around you. That yes, you can change. You can change just by not engaging in the entertainment and in the breads and circuses, and now instead turning inwards and focusing inwards on your group, your close family group, things that matter, humanity. You can make it. That's the only way to make a difference. But instead, you cocksuckers would rather work 80 hours a week and donate a little money to a charity organization and make sure that everybody knows how much you're donating and get your rocks off that way. You guys are vainglorious, man. You guys are discussing your Luciferians. That is exactly feeding. That is a worshiper, a Lucifer. You guys are doing it perfectly. That is Luciferian worship. You're doing it perfectly, guys. Good job. Fuck humanity, right? Fuck humanity. Fuck the person next to you. Fuck this suffering. Fuck them. You're suffering too. That's why you need all your bread. You deserve it. You deserve it. You didn't ask to be brought into this world, right? You deserve all this shit. No, man. You guys need to get your humanity back. You guys need to come off your download. You guys need to get honest with yourself. Whether you're on an AI download, whether you're on a religious download, whether you're on a government download, a system download, whatever kind of download you're on, whatever kind of program, you're running something. Probably multiple, probably all of them. You probably have all of those programs running. But that's what I'm saying. Like, what has happened to me with my brain injuries, I am unable to deal with any of that anymore. My brain is only able, I got to get rid of all the dissonance. I have to come to terms with how things are. Therefore, I can't deal with all these games, these fucking narratives, all these games that everybody has set up. So how do you fix that? You got to go back to birth. And you have to recognize the system you were born into. And you have to recognize the abusive system. And you have to recognize the programming. And then you have to make a conscious decision as an adult and put yourself back as a baby and be like, well, how would I have changed my life? And no, you can't do it going with the intention of becoming a billionaire in this life and having all these things. No, that's not what this is about. It isn't about learning the law of attraction. All that shit will come naturally because it means nothing. It's just the way this world works. What you got to do is reconnect with your humanity. You know? So disconnected. So disconnected from humanity. So uploaded on these programs. I know people who can't take their fucking earbuds out. I know people who can't tear themselves away from this screen that I'm staring at right now. I know people who can't tear themselves away from other screens. I know people that when they do finally take themselves away from those screens, have to have some kind of entertainment or other distraction or thing that they're doing. And as soon as they're done getting that dopamine hit from over there, they have to come right back to that screen. And that's how they're living their life. It's terrible, man. People are being hurt right under your nose. There's abuse everywhere. And, you know, you useful idiots, if you weren't abused as a child, like outright abuse, I mean, we were all abused as children, okay? If you didn't just suffer the normal abuse of schooling and being born and that kind of shit, and you were just coddled your whole life, don't fucking even talk to me. You need to get your shit straight, because you are just as bad as these abusers, because you're enjoying all of the pleasures of the culmination of their life's abuse. It's all tied in. And that's why nobody wants me talking. Because you have to go back to the beginning. And then once you realize it's all rotten, and you go, well, okay, I guess I shouldn't be attached to any of it. And when you're sitting there before you start your healing, that is a scary fucking thing. But when I say it today, I can't do it fast enough. I can't get rid of possessions fast enough. I'm so tired of possessions. And if I wasn't so racked in so many ways and just barely holding on to life, I'd go out there and live out in the woods like Wim Hof. If I could deal with the cold and everything like that, I'd go out there and just do that. But I'm such a pussy right now because I'm healing. I'm just barely holding on. And I'm sure part of the reason is I'm just going, I don't want to hold on. Waiting to see, like, is anything going to be different?